Thank you, Wasty. And speaking of the topic of work, we could all do with some updated essential wardrobe classics. Now, our fashion editor, Noxolo Mafu, she is here to help us revamp our work look with some statement pieces that can be worn on repeat. Nox, it's so great to have you here.
It's good to be back. It's a new year, great invigoration for a good fashion year at work and at play.
Oh, you know what? Work, play, I think for us, it's the first time we're seeing you on screens for 2023. Yes. Personal goals for 2023?
Well, you know, I'm always like, should I do goals? But I think it's always good to work towards something. So for me, it really is about getting my health in check and being consistent. And from a work front, definitely is being a lot more organized. So making sure I get ahead of my calendar so I don't feel overwhelmed in any way.
You know what? That is very good. Keeping a diary and a calendar is so, so important.
Absolutely.
But going back to work is also exciting. And I know a lot of people love to do a little bit of shop just to get them in the mood for the office or going back to work. Let's talk about office wear at the moment for ladies.
Now, I love what we can do at the office. So obviously this is very industry specific. So I can understand that, you know, you have to look at what works for your industry, which is why I love the variety that we have for men and women at WOOLWORTHS at the moment. So I'm actually going to start with the gents.
Let's start with the gents.
Let's start with the gents. So I think a lot more people in creative industries would probably find that they could play between these type of things. So having a golfer with a chino, which for a Friday look, for instance, would work quite well. And then, of course, if you want to play between that hybrid look, you can go with a bomber, and then you can also then put that with a shirt. So I like these kind of classic looks because they really work quite well. Of course, then you would pair that, both these tops, you could pair them with a good chino.
Of course.
So for instance, let's try something like this. So for a more classic kind of completed look, we've got a good chino here, and you know that they've got 100 ways that it could fit. So the gents really have options there.
They do have options, and I mean good quality shirts, good quality chinos, and you can go a long way.
A long way. Then you pair that with a blazer, for instance. And already then you can take that up for a meeting, you're presenting something, you're pitching something. So that feels a little bit more on brand for that. But of course, it's all about how you put these things together. As you can see, there are amazing accessories like loafers and vegan shoes. So these are great. You could put that with a coat, for instance, but I like the textures here and the play between that. So I find the layering works really well.
The coat is quite funny. I mean, we are in the heart of summer, but I find certain offices, the air conditioning is so strong.
Exactly.
You feel like you need a coat in the office.
I actually was going through something like that yesterday where I was like, actually, guys, we need to switch it up. So that coat is very handy.
It's very important.
So also, I find for the ladies, there's so many options here, right? In the sense that you could play with kind of accessorizing, but getting the basics right is the most important thing. So let me kick off again. We can go with a kind of a normal tee, which you could pair, let's say, with a printed skirt if you wanted to, or like pants that you wanted to, or if you wanted to wear it with a shirt, that's great. But it's all about how you put these things together. So for instance, for that t-shirt,
you want to get versatility out of your wardrobe. So you need to buy, what would you call it, capsule pieces?
Absolutely. So think about it like a cake. You want to get that base right.
Yeah.
And then all the icing and stuff is all that we do with the accessories, the printed items that you could repeat. But I mean, pants like these
are classic pants.
Fundamental.
These are excellent.
Absolutely. T-shirt, you can pair it with a shirt. You look absolutely great. A few accessories and you're ready to go. I mean, I could do this for hours, honestly. But I mean, I think if we look at the accessories also, that pop of color doesn't mean you can't play because you're at work. We've got loafers that are absolutely on trend at the moment. You could pair that with a great suit.
Would you do matchy-matchy?
I definitely would. I mean, I love a bit of color. I love a bit of monochrome. But, you know, for instance, I think it's also nice to know that you can also play with great prints, you know. So if you wanted to wear that classic shirt that we looked at, you add a little bit of an A-line skirt, I think we're ready to play. And you can look kind of get a personality in your wardrobe too.
I love it. You know, they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. We shouldn't judge the clothing by the hanger. So let's bring some models out and see this in real life.
Let's start with the gents. So we kicked off with that, and we can see now a play between, you know, the more formal look laid with a golfer. So we've got a golfer underneath there, and then of course your two-piece suit, very much pinned, very well tailored at the bottom, which obviously gives them a bit more structure. But again, if you were to take off the blazer, I think it's still got a bit of ease. You can move around the office, but But of course, if you're in more serious rooms, you've got your blazer to add on it. Top it off with some sneaks.
Like the whitest sneakers I've ever
Yes, and
seen.
keep
It
them
needs
white.
to keep. These are your indoor sneakers.
Yes.
You put them on when you get to the office.
And then you take them off as
When
you're
you leave
about to
the
get, exactly.
office.
No one touches you.
They
no
don't
one
touch
says,
the grass
exactly.
outside.
But these look absolutely great. It's a very like polished look, which I really enjoy. Great for the modern man and for the work.
Oh, well, listen, we've now covered the gents. Let's look after the ladies. And I was
Exactly.
asking you, would you matchy match? And look
here
at
we
this.
are. Exactly. So, you know, don't be afraid of color, you know. I think we have a basic kind of structure here, of course, with the blazer and also tailored pants here for the women. But of course, loafers, heels, a great bag, really give that pop of color and personality that you have. She's gone with more of a t-shirt rather than a shirt. And I find that gives it a lot more of a relaxed feel. But I mean, the nice thing is about all of these things can also be worn outside of the work environment. So it really is about how you style it. We've got great accessories at Woolies. It really is a good time to play.
Oh, well, listen, I am loving all of these looks. I'm loving all of these pieces you've showed. Nox, it's always so great to have you here.
Good to be back.
And I love talking fashion with you.
I know, it's going to be a great year. We're going to look good this year.
We are going to look good. And if you are looking from those classics to the contemporary, dress up, dress down, elevate all of your on-duty looks with Woolworths' workwear essentials. It is available in-store, online, as well as on the Woolies app.